Hey everyone, welcome back to Blue Collar Whiskey Drinkers. I'm Cody.
I'm Robbie.
And on this episode, we're doing a guest episode. We got Kyle here. So introduce yourself, Kyle.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kyle Adams. I'm the owner of Prohibition Brewing Company. Lifelong friend of Cody's here, and really excited to be on the podcast.
Yeah, so it's good to have you, buddy. Been wanting to have you on for a long time now, and it's really good to get you on here finally.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited.
Yeah.
What whiskey did you bring us today?
So yeah, we picked out Old Forester. I actually found this one because it is a Prohibition style, and Prohibition is the name of my company. So I figured that would be a cool matchup.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
yeah, so Prohibition Brewing, obviously we're a brewery, restaurant, and been in business a little over 11 years. And kind of specialize in a little bit of everything. Don't have whiskey, but we're excited to try this and see how it goes.
Yeah.
Hey, honestly, you'll probably be.
Maybe one day you'll get some whiskey.
Yeah, we're still growing and expanding. Distilling is maybe the next avenue.
Yeah, I was thinking before the podcast, Kyle, you'll probably be able to pick up on more notes since you're doing tastings every day with your beer and making sure the aroma's right, the flavors are hitting right. So I'm actually pretty curious what you're able to pick up.
So I smell beer, taste beer. I see it in the beginning, middle, of end. Good beer, bad beer. So you definitely get a good nose, a good sense of flavor. Flavors in the front, flavors in the back. Any lingering flavors, stuff you're looking for, and stuff you're not looking for too. I'm probably not as good as maybe you guys, but in the whiskey department. But I definitely, I'm not new. I will say that, right?
Yeah, you've had your fair share of whiskey.
Yeah,
we're longtime friends. We've drinking a lot of whiskey together.
Yeah.
I swear to God, this guy used to drink Black Velvet like it was.
Oh yeah. We all had that phase. Yeah, Black Velvet. Yeah, yum.
Yeah, Black Velvet, R&R, all those shitty.
Probably the worst thing was I would drink Black Velvet with Monster. And of course now after the whole Four Loko phase, everyone's like, don't do that. I'm like, oh yeah, I'd be jacked up and drunk at the same time.
No, we did R&R and Monster out here.
Oh yeah.
So
R&R. Oh God.
Yeah. Now you can afford to kind of go up the shelves, get glasses, plastic, and I got more than $5 in my pocket.
I find it's funny. Like I think I was a Crown guy, so I just always got Crown. So that was the lowest I usually went.
Yeah,
it's like Sailor Jerry rom.
I was working about Jack Daniels and Sailor Jerry.
Honestly, it was whatever was at a party.
Yeah,
I was drinking.
Yeah. We used to split. Four of us split a bottle of Sailor Jerry because it was the highest ABV with the lowest cost.
Yeah.
Yes. I love Sailor Jerry's. I think Cody got me hooked on Sailor Jerry's.
Yeah,
you drank it with us a few times when you're out here visiting.
Yeah,
and then I went back to Arkansas, and everybody's like, "What, Sailor Jerry's?" And I got people hooked on that shit.
Yeah,
Sailor Jerry's and Coke and vanilla Coke is like
yes.
Yeah,
I drank a lot of that in Jamaica and Mexico.
Yeah,
I'm sure they got a lot of flavored stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Rum punch.
Yeah. So, all right, you guys ready to pour yourself some?
Yeah, we're ready. So a little bit about
I'll go over a little bit about the whiskey if you guys want to go ahead and pour and let it sit. So everybody, like we already said, this is Old Forester 1920 Prohibition style whiskey. This whiskey is 57.5% alcohol. It is also around $60. Was that the price for you, Cody?
Yeah, basically.
Give or take. So this will be in our 4.4 category, and it's aged anywhere from 4 to 4.5 years. So let me kind of go a little bit in detail on Prohibition style. So the Volstead Act in 1920, which initiated Prohibition in the U.S., granted permits to 6 distillers in Kentucky to continue to bottle bourbon for medicinal purposes. Through one of these permits, Old Forester continued to be produced as a medical or medicinal whiskey on Louisville's famed Whiskey Row. It is the only bourbon continuously sold by the same company that has been available for sale before, during, and after Prohibition. So,
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
So they made it.
Um,
They were able to use it for medicinal purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool little
Yeah.
history on how you kind of get through it, and
Yeah, so
Survive.
little bit more during this time, all whiskeys had to be bottled at 100 proof. With the barrel entry proof at 100, the Angel Share would have created 115 proof whiskey after mature. To pay homage to this era, Old Forester presents 1920 Prohibition style bourbon at 115 proof to represent rich flavor profile this bourbon had nearly 100 years ago. So,
Okay.
very, very cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
So everybody knows we've done 2 Old Foresters so far, 86 proof and the 100 proof, and both very good.
Yeah.
So
So
I have
this is
high
number-
hopes for this one.
Yeah, this is number 3. I always hear people talk about this one as, one of their favorites. That in 1910.
Yes,
are
1910's good.
One of their, a lot of people's favorites. So, I'm
Statesman
excited.
is also really good. So I got that for a buddy for his wedding, and that one's really good as well.
yeah, I'm already liking the aroma on this one.
Yeah, the aroma
Yeah.
is really nice.
Mhm.
You got a nice cherry
Yeah.
smell.
So on the aroma, they say it's cherry, caramel, dark chocolate,
Okay.
like maple syrup with oak spices
Oh,
or
yeah.
spiciness.
I got that cherry right off the bat.
Yeah, you did.
And I didn't even read. I haven't even read any of that now.
Yeah, no.
So,
I'm definitely getting right in the
getting too
middle,
much.
dark chocolate.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I didn't get too much of that dark chocolate, but definitely, yeah, the cherry part's right there.
Yeah, I get cherry, dark chocolate. I'm not getting so much caramel. So I definitely get that spiciness, that oak spiciness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
All pretty mild all the way through, in my opinion.
yeah.
Yeah.
For 57.5%.
Yeah, it's a high proof. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you can smell the fire in it, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's got that
Hey.
ethanol.
Cheers, guys.
Let's cheers, guys.
Cheers.
All right.
Ooh,
Mm. Ooh, I'm liking that.
Oh, that's
that clears up the sinuses.
a little hot.
Yeah.
But this is our first drink
Yeah.
of the night.
And it's no burn. I'm
Yeah,
not getting that at all. No, I'm just got a good warmth, definitely. Like
Yeah.
I said,
It lit me up a little bit. I kind of
give you a little.
called it wrong, but
No, I got like sinus, so it's like dripping down nice, and it's so soothing.
oh, dude, I feel it.
I'm
It's
getting a bit of
Oh,
that
it's-
spice there too, you know?
Yeah.
The oaky spice in the
How's
back.
really good mouthfeel. Like
Yeah.
Yes.
it's
So
really, like oily almost.
Yeah, it's not like some of them are kind of like almost like a numbing, you know, because they're like too burny. But this is like
Yeah.
smooth. Like I said, oily is probably a good description.
yeah.
Not gonna leave you like that whole like breathing fire.
No.
Especially for such an ABV.
So for the taste, they say dark caramel coats, layers of malt, nuttiness, sweet graham cracker, all warmed by green peppercorn, and spice brightened with a hint of cedar.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the finish is tart apple crispness, gives way to long smoky finish, full of toasted marshmallow, chocolate, and graham cracker sweetness. So I'm not getting so much on all that, but it's it's really good.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder how they get these things, you know. There's a
A
little
lot
bit
of
of
it, a lot of it's BS, but
Yeah. I mean, when you hear it, you're kind of like, oh yeah, but also like, really?
Yeah. I'm gonna add the water droplets.
Okay. I'm gonna take another little, like I said.
So
Yeah, definitely. I could see myself sitting around
ooh.
drinking this.
This is delicious so far.
Oh yeah.
I understand the hype.
Adding that water in there, you get to change the smell a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little funkier. It's like a little.
I think I get more of the caramel and the maple syrup now. It's like a sweeter.
100%. I was just about to say that. I was like, definitely just hit me instead of cherry, caramel
Yeah,
Yeah.
caramel.
and sweeter. I was like, wow,
All
that's
right.
I get a little weird musty. I don't know what that is.
Do you?
Very back, but
maybe just
Yeah.
a pinch on that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Damn.
instant sweet, like right on the
Yeah.
top.
Oh yeah.
Just super sweet right off the bat.
I'm getting more of that marshmallow kind of thing they were talking about. Not, I don't know about graham cracker, but like a marshmallow.
Mhm.
Yeah, now you're getting that marshmallow, super sweet, caramely, maple syrupy.
Yeah,
Yes.
the finish is a little more bitey though.
It
Right?
is.
Yes.
A little more tart or something, right?
Yeah, drier.
Drier,
I'd say.
drier, yes.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Interesting. I never would have thought like adding a couple of drops of water would change it like that. But yeah, you're 100% right.
So I don't know if I like it with the water droplets more or without.
Oh, personally, I like it with.
I kind of dig it. I kind of dig it with because I'm a little bit more on that sweeter side. I like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't bad before. I mean, that first drink, was I was like, wow,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
really good. But definitely, it's a different kind of flavor,
Agreed.
So far, I think
But I
I
dig
like
that
it
sweetness.
without it.
It sits very nice. Like, honestly, even on a warm day, I feel like I could drink this.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sitting on the porch.
The second sip there was a little bit better first with the water
Mm.
droplets.
Yeah, so smooth, really. And
Oh, it is. Especially
such
once you
a-
add the water droplets.
yeah, really mellows it out. There's not that warmth so much anymore.
Yeah.
Me more, I'm getting it more on like the gum line.
Yes.
Because
It's like a spice that sits there.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
around the gum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes my lips feel nice.
yeah.
little tingle. So
Yeah, I ran it through my gums a little bit more this second and third sip too, so that might be it as well. But yeah, definitely getting that on the gum line, a lot more warmer there, and not so much in the throat. And
yeah.
but definitely a little bit more of that like spice, like I think with the water than before.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah, I noticed that right off the bat. But super sweet. With if you're really into the sweeter sides of whiskeys, the water droplets really intensifies the sweetness on this whiskey for sure.
Yeah.
But Kyle, what do you love most about the restaurant / brewery business? You guys do both.
Yeah, so full brewery, full restaurant, full service. I really enjoy the fact that, we're an independent, so we get to create all kinds of new flavors, both in food and in beer. In the beer world, you can do so much with flavors, even additives, just like with whiskeys, there's all kinds of different flavors that hit different categories.
Yeah.
Same with food. I mean, talking about flavor palettes and profiles, so many things you can bring together and just try cool new creations, and having an independent restaurant, we can create whatever we want. So we can go around the world with flavors or mix things together that we would have never even thought. Sometimes, my chef will say, hey, let's try this. And on paper, I'm like, this sounds terrible. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And he's like, just try it. I'm like, I tried it. I'm like, oh my God, you're a mad genius. Same thing with beer, right? Our brewer, he's like, you know what? I want to make a coconut flavored beer. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Is this going to be a pina colada? What is this? Turns out to be one of the best selling beers that we have.
I actually really, really enjoy that one. It's the coconut blonde.
Yeah, the coconut blonde. Actually, I brought it here to do a quick little show. So this is our coconut blonde ale.
Oh yeah.
The light's a little funky, but
Yeah.
it is a take on our dirty blonde, which is an American style blonde ale. And I challenged our brewer. I was like, well, I want something kind of lighter and fruity. I was thinking more, on the lighter side. And he's like, well, he kind of got actually mad. He's like, well, fine, I'll just throw, let's make something that tastes like coconut. And I was kind of mad at him, like, what are you doing? And turns out he, really hit it out of the park, because that was our number one selling beer, was our Dirty Blonde, the blonde ale.
Yeah.
And he twisted it. And I was like, why are you taking something that's so successful already, our number one selling beer, and messing with it? Don't mess with something that, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, exactly.
And turns out he's, that's the fun of it, like you're saying. What do I like about it is I can create these cool new things, work with all my people, and we have great people, by the way.
Yeah.
And creating something cool, unique, that's, never really been done before. I mean, yes, beer's been around, and yes, food's been around, but having that sort of independence personally is what I really enjoy about it, and just having fun with it sometimes. I mean, yeah, work is work sometimes, but you gotta have fun.
Yeah. Oh,
Gotta try
like
things
that.
out fun.
So where's this
People
brewery?
experiment. That's the cool thing too.
Yeah, so you gotta be careful with giving them a little bit of freedom. It has come back to bite me in the ass a little bit. Because if you don't have a structure, they just kind of get carried away and going off into somewhere they shouldn't, and you end up wasting a bunch of time and money with with nothing. But nothing good was ever created, just instantaneously. Sometimes you have to work on it, you have to refine it. You have to try something that's completely off the wall to say, okay, maybe I should reel this in, or like I said with this one, you've completely hit out of the park in a category that I would have never even thought existed. And same thing with food. And our chef, I don't know if you ever heard of Loco Mocos, which is we did rice, burger, and egg in a bowl, and I was like, that sounds terrible, and gravy on top of it. I'm like, that to me, that doesn't sound that good. On paper, it doesn't sound good, but you try it and it's amazing.
Shit, sounds delicious to me.
But it's something I was like stuck in the traditional mind, like, okay, a burger, you got a burger, you got a bun, lettuce, tomato, and all that stuff. I'm like, that's a burger. Why are you gonna mess with something that's a number one selling thing? And so it's like, just try it. And sometimes you have to kind of get out of your comfort zone and just kind of let them go with it a little bit, but say, okay, you never know what's going to happen.
So where is your brewery located at, so everybody knows?
Yeah, so we're in Vista, California. We are one of the original breweries in Vista. Not the first, but one of the originals. And San Diego County is where we're at, and San Diego County is actually microbrewery capital. Not only of California, of the United States, I'm pretty sure it's the world now. Per capita, we have more microbreweries per population than anywhere else. And Vista having one of the highest concentrations in all of San Diego. So we're definitely got some competition, but our beer has won multiple gold medals at the International Beer Festival. Multiple different styles have won medals. The restaurant has won medals as well for Taste of Vista and different other events. We're pretty kind of a well-kept secret. I don't do a whole lot of advertising on social media, or our internet presence is really not super heavy, but that keeps the people that go there want to go there. So we have a very high local population where people that come to our place are coming multiple times a week. They live right around the corner. They all know us. So I kind of don't need to advertise too much, because that word of mouth is my own advertisement. And the products speak for themselves. I got medals for both food and beer. So we're doing something right.
Well, So speaking of medals, I'll throw this in. This Old Forester 1920 Prohibition Style just won the gold medal for San Francisco Spirits competition in 2023. So very recent. So funny that you brought up the medals. I kind of forgot to mention that whenever I was going through everything. So thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, well, it lays right into the conversation, right?
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I got my score down. What are you guys thinking on this whiskey? Neat.
Well, it's out of 5. So
out of 5.
Yeah. So remember that, Kyle. But
like I said, I'm not maybe the best one, but I would rate this pretty highly. I'd say a good solid 4, maybe upper 4 range.
Okay. So we do go by like decimal points, like every couple decimals. So like if you want to say 4.5, 4.2, things like that, you can.
And 5 being like perfect, best I've ever had ever, and 1 being black velvet.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, I would probably give this a real solid like four. I would say 4.5. Yeah, this is
Okay.
really good, really smooth. Really got the flavors that I personally look for.
Yeah.
To me, this is really good. I'm really enjoying this.
Nice.
I would have to
Yeah.
agree with you, man. I am right there at 4.5 as well. Like that was the first thing that came into my mind. To be honest, I might even go 4.6.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think this is fantastic. There wasn't one thing I didn't like about it. I think
Mhm.
the only thing I really actually, to be real nitpicky, the only thing I didn't like about it was the little dryness.
Mhm.
Um,
And see, I kind of like the dryness. Like
Yeah.
if I have a champagne, I like dry champagne or like.
so that's why I kind of liked it without the water droplets.
Mhm.
I feel like it got more dry with the water droplets at the end.
Mhm. Yeah, it did.
But
It did.
it was amazing. Like this
Yeah.
whiskey, I'm gonna pour myself this neat all the time. Like
Yeah.
this is
Wow.
great. The only thing is it's expensive. I mean, for everyday kind of thing. I mean,
Yes, but
Do you remember what we paid at the total wine?
it's about $60.
Was it about that?
Mhm.
Okay.
mine was about
Yeah,
64
Yeah.
after
Sometimes
tax.
you get what you pay for.
It's true. No, this
Yeah.
and like we said, everyone, this is 115 proof. So this is
Yeah.
a good proof.
Good sipper, so
I tend to kind of like there's some higher proofs that I have up to the 125 proof. That's a little much, I think, for my palate. I kind of would rather have this than that high proof more regularly, I guess.
Honestly, yeah. If I'm gonna drink neat, this would be one I would go to, even with the price. Which I drink majority of all my whiskeys neat, but this one's so good. I could sit out on the back porch and just sit there and drink this whiskey, smoke a cigar, whatever. I honestly like this at a 4.5. I was going back and forth with like a 4.4, 4.5, even like this one was just kind of hard to pinpoint as far as the actual number. I didn't want to score it too high, but once you guys said 4.5, I was like, okay, good, I'm not too high. So I really enjoy this whiskey. The smell is great, especially with the water droplets. Taste is great, and honestly, taste wise for both with and without water droplets, you're not going to go wrong. This is a great whiskey, and I would recommend this all day long. And I could see why it's won the 2023. So
you just smell your glass after like the whiskey's gone.
Oh yeah,
God, it smells so good.
amazing.
While you guys were talking, I was just sitting there smelling
Man.
this.
Just,
I got a little carried away with talking. I know. Like this is kind of whiskey.
All right. Well, we're going to be trying this neat or on the rocks.
On the rocks. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you guys thinking? How do you think it's going to do?
Freaking fantastic. On the rocks.
Okay.
I think I think it's going to be great.
Because normally I don't like too much whiskey warm like this, but this even just like this is I can drink this. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's going to be good. I'm a little concerned with the alcohol content and everything that it is going to chew up that ice and melt it very quick. So that's just my kind of worry about it, but I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to open up very nicely.
Just drink it fast.
Yeah. So we'll see though. We've had higher alcohol content whiskeys that did not chew up the ice. Yeah. And then the lower alcohol content like sometimes just does.
All right. Well, we're going to grab some ice cubes and some glasses and we'll be right back.
All right, everybody, we're back. We got our whiskey on the rocks here. This is Old Forester 1920 Prohibition style. So, hey, cheers.
Cheers. Just that smell, man. Ooh, it smells good.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's so smooth. Really mellow.
Very.
Has so much flavor. Wow.
Yeah. It kept a lot of flavor, which I was really hoping it would. So
yeah, I get a cherry note now.
Yeah. Now you say that, I'm getting a little bit of that too. Yeah.
I was gonna say I definitely get cherry, but I almost get. I know they didn't say this in the notes. Almost a cinnamon taste.
That's kind of that spice flavor that I was talking about earlier,
especially on the nose. Not so much the mouth, but the nose.
Yeah.
So, all right, Kyle. thank you for being on with us, man. It's good to finally have you. I know we have already said that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
thank you for having me. I know you guys have been inviting me so many times over, and so it never, schedules never lined up.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I'm working and you guys are doing it. You know,
Yeah.
And vice versa. It's definitely,
It really is tough
you know.
to get everybody together.
yeah.
yeah.
Well, work's been keeping me busy, you know, and obviously you know how that is. But
Yeah.
you know, sometimes, like I said, work is work, but you know, you gotta work.
So I got one question for you. What is your favorite childhood memory? We'll kind of move away from the whiskey and beer talk for a sec.
For me,
Yeah.
favorite childhood memory. Gosh. Wish you would have kind of prepared a little bit. I think you know what.
It's on the spot, man.
So many fun things you do. You know that are different categories of fun. But for me, I really think that riding dirt bikes was really fun for me. You know, even though there wasn't one particular memory or one particular time. You know, growing up riding dirt bikes, I thought that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know, being competitive and young, you know, you can really, you know, have a good time, go out to the desert and be kind of mellow. Or, you know, I was on a racetrack and I raced for a while too.
That's actually how I kind of met Kyle. So Kyle lived down the street on about a quarter mile down the straight road down the street from my house. And you know, I used all the neighborhood kids used to ride bikes all around and dirt bikes kind of all around. Kyle had a nice dirt bike track, and him and his brother would be out there racing and hitting all these jumps and doing.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, we were battling it out all the time, every day after school. You know,
so you know, we would go down there and watch him because you know him and his brother were really good at dirt bikes.
Yeah, eventually we got a little audience. They'd be sitting up kind of right there on the sidewalk, kind of just like peeking through, and all of a sudden, you know, we'd stop and they go, "Hey guys, you know,
how you doing?
Right, what's up?"
You know,
yeah.
We ended up starting, you know,
can we ride too?
You know, and yeah, we tried to ride their track every once in a while, but then we would go to the desert and camp together and ride dirt bikes, and that's how our kind of relationship started. And
and you'd hear the dirt bikes racing through the neighborhood. You know, probably pissed off some of the neighbors, but you know, these were the neighbors, so maybe they weren't that bad. Yeah, it was good times. That's how we met. You know, the whole neighborhood. You know, Robert and everyone else. You know, and
John and.
I really would never have met too much of our neighbors, you know, even though, you know, Southern California is a you know, urban area. Our area was very rural. You know, no sidewalks, no street lamps. You know, you don't really talk to your neighbors like, hey,
everybody had a couple acres usually or about.
Yeah, everyone's got, you know, usually 2 acre minimums, you know, and you know, you're kind of spread out. You don't really get to meet people. There's not like, you know, you're walking your kids down the street kind of a thing, you know. Like I said, you can ride bikes.
I always loved going over to Cody's just because, you know, there was a lot to do, and yet everybody was still so far apart. Like I grew up out in a rural area where, you know, it was 1.5 miles, 2 miles to my best friend's house, you know? And, you know, but going over to Cody's, you'd be like, hey, we're going to go down here. We're going to go do this. And even though we were still rural, it was, you know, a lot closer and just cooler. I had fond memories. I completely forgot about your dirt bike track and everything. I think I went over a couple times and watched you guys, and that was insane. I remember your old Camaro. That thing, I love that car. I'm not even a Chevy guy.
Oh yeah. I love that car too. That was another probably perfect child. I mean, that was kind of more like adolescence, but you know, 16-year-old got my first car, and you know how many people can say your first car is a V8 stick shift Camaro. You know, it was kind of an old. It was, you know, it was a 1991, you know, Camaro Z28 and 5-liter V8 stick shift. And I did all the stupid kid stuff, right? You put big old subwoofers in it, and you know, some LED lights, you know.
We cruise all the time.
Oh, and I loved I would do burnouts. I would race anyone that came up next to me. I'm surprised I didn't get it taken away or impounded. I didn't, you know. But I got
I remember riding with you to a party, and that thing put me back in the seat. I was like, holy shit. That was my senior year of high school, and I'm, you know, a year younger than Cody, so we all were going to a party from So
Yeah, I had it for a couple of years. I put exhaust on it. I put a bigger intake on it. I tried to make it go faster and louder, and that was a lot of
You've
fun.
had 3 Camaros.
I had 2 Camaros
Camaro
and a Corvette.
That's right.
Yeah. So as I kind of got older, I got the newer Camaro from a 91 to a 2002. So last year of that year Camaro, and then I went forward to a no, it was an '01 Camaro, and then I had an '02 Corvette. So yeah, went to a Corvette after that, and now I just drive a truck, and a Buick.
20-year-old Buick. Didn't your parents buy that one for you?
Yeah, oh gosh, that's a whole nother story in itself. So I had a Buick Verano Turbo, which is, if you don't know too much about cars or Buicks, it's about the size of a Toyota Corolla, but with a turbo 4-cylinder in it. So it would scoot and boogie, and it was comfortable. Like no one would ever think like this thing was just this comfortable car.
Man's car, right, Kyle?
Yeah, it's an old man's car. Yeah, and so yeah, I was gonna sell it, and my mom started driving it. And she's like, "Oh, I'll drive it around town, and with the for sale sign in it, and let advertise." And all of a sudden, my for sale sign's out of it, and her stuff's in it. And I'm like, "Hey, what's going on with my car?" She's like, "Well, I really like this car. How much do you want for it?" So then, so now she's got my brother's BMW, and it's just sitting there. And I was in an accident, I broke my arm, and I was driving her car because it was just easier to get in and out of than my truck. And kind of the same thing. She's like, "Well, I think I'm gonna sell it. What you could trade it in? It's an extra car." And all of a sudden, I'm in it, and now my stuff's in it. And I'm driving it right now. And she's like, "Okay, well, this is coming full circle again." But
That's
funny.
how it is, man.
Funny little story. I mean, yeah, but
That's awesome.
well,
I'm digging this
All
whiskey,
right,
man.
well,
Even on the rocks,
no, it is.
much smoother on the nose. I know we're supposed to be talking about this more, but not a whole lot of like deep, like kind of like oakiness in that smell. You're getting a lot more smoother, but a little bit more of a sweeter smell too.
Like
It's not
caramely, vanilla, smooth.
Yeah.
Nothing too strong, but it's a nice smell.
Yeah, and like you were talking about
Very
earlier,
good
ice melt and ice consumption. It doesn't seem like it's burning through it too quickly. You can definitely see the cube's gone down a bit, but
it's not chewing it up. I'll say that
it's
definitely gone down, but
I'd say it's about a middle of the road. Like as
Yeah.
far as whiskeys we've seen eating up ice, it's not too crazy, but it's
it's also not 100 degrees. It's a mild 72.
yeah.
yeah, same here.
Yeah,
All
beautiful spring day.
right, well, Cody, what are you thinking?
As far as a review goes, I could drink this easily. I enjoy it very much. I think I really enjoyed the neat too. So, but as far as just on the rocks go, I could definitely see myself doing this, especially when it gets a little hotter temperatures out. So I would probably give it like a 4 let's say 4.4, range, or 4.5. Let's just say 4.5. I think it's really compatible or close enough to where the neat score for me was.
Yeah, and I think I'm
I
kind of
agree.
right there too. I'd say 4.5, even I'd go 4.6. To me, this personally, I like my drinks cold.
Yeah.
And if I was gonna drink, I probably wouldn't do too much of that neat, but I would 100% do this on ice and just sip this just as it is right now. Me, I like this even more than the neat. So I'd rate it at 4.6. It may be even higher than what I was before.
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm right there with you guys, 4.5. I was I'll be honest, I was a little bit more on the 4.4, 4.5. Just because at the end there, it just kind of seemed like it was getting a little watered down. That was probably the only hiccup with it, but everything else, flavor, even with it getting watered down, the flavor held up great. The smell held up great. And it was very, just good and nice to have something nice and chill, but still warm you and have a good flavor to it. So
I think a little bit that plays a part of it. you know, we're kind of leaning towards 4.4 is we've drank a lot of neat whiskeys. So we're kind of used to drinking neat whiskeys more. So I think that plays a part of like why we kind of like, we
When it gets
really
kind of watered
enjoy
down.
the neat. Once you start drinking whiskeys more and more, and your palate acclimates basically to doing that, you will probably enjoy neat more once you start doing it more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. But
And same with beer too. You know?
I love drinks cold. That's how I started out with drinking whiskeys. I was like, man, I love it cold. I like it on the rocks. Like that was like, that's like the only thing I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Neat wasn't that appealing to me when I first started drinking whiskeys, you know?
Yeah.
And then,
I would agree with that.
yeah, now it's like, wow.
And we were drinking black velvet.
Definitely needs. You need something in there.
Yeah, he needs something a little more quality like that.
Get beans of the world, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you nailed it, Robbie. It did get a little watered down at the end there, but it's still really good. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And I almost like that a little bit. Maybe, like I said, I'm not that experienced as to compared to you guys, but I kind of liked a little bit of that watery to it because I like that chill, that cool, that almost refreshing sensation.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, that's why Cody and I do review the whiskeys the way we do in like 4 different ways is just because, you know, there's so many people that like it neat. There's so many people like it on the rocks or then with Coke or a cocktail. And our cocktail of choice is old fashioned. So that's why we just do an old fashioned. It's also a good medium, I feel like. So, but it gives us a good broad range to see. Like this whiskey so far is great neat, great on the rocks. But we've had whiskeys that are terrible neat and great on the rocks, and vice versa, where they're just great neat and they fall apart, with ice. So, this one, good pick, Kyle. Very, very good pick, dude. I definitely got to say that.
We were kind of walking together the store together because we ended up picking this one up. Like I was with him, but he saw the 1920, the Prohibition, and then I was like, dude, that's got to be perfect. That's perfect for Prohibition.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's meant to be. So let's do that one.
Yes.
And Kyle was totally like, that's the one.
Yeah, I know you said a little higher on that price point than normally what you're used to here, but that's spot on. This is that's me.
No, this one's it's one of those ones. It's which one? Pikeville is pretty pricey as well for me anyway, and I will pay this price for this whiskey all day long. This is a great whiskey. It's just one of those things where you do get some of those higher end whiskeys, but you could find a whiskey that is just better at the $30-$40 range. And then this one here, I'm gonna pay. I'll pay for it.
For sure.
It's worth it. 100%.
It's worth it. And it'll last you a good while. I mean, it's high proof, so
Yeah, you're not gonna be
a couple
trying
of
to.
these, evenings, coming home from work or whatever. This is gonna be nice.
Yeah, you're not gonna be going to a party with this one and trying to drink it.
No, yeah.
Like you and your buddies are gonna be
This is
just jacked up.
Yeah, this is the one you keep in your personal cabinet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Share with friends, kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we are going to be throwing this in an old fashioned. I'm actually really excited about it. I think
I'm so excited.
Super good old fashioned.
All the flavors we're getting, I think it's going to make a great old fashioned.
Yeah. All right. You ready to go pour those old fashions?
Yeah, I'm gonna go make mine, and I'll be ready to go when you guys are.
All right. Cool. All right, everybody, we're back with our old fashioned. So this is 1920s Old Forester. So cheers, Kyle. Thank you for picking this, Kyle. We really appreciate it. And cheers.
Love the smell already.
Oh, man.
Okay. So I'll tell you this. I had Michaela take a sip before I came in here, and she thought it was good. She and she's new to drinking old fashions and whiskey in general. And her favorite is Four Roses, and then
Dickel, right?
She loves Dickel, but she says it is more holiday-esque.
Yeah.
And then there was another one, maybe Pikesville. Was it Pikesville that was really good?
Pikesville was amazing. Yeah.
And then, yeah, she said, she was like, damn, that's good.
Yeah, this is really good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the orange isn't overpowering.
Yeah.
But it has a good addition.
Yeah, it does.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I got a video from Wellington's from last night. Smoked old fashioned. And Michaela's probably going to post that tomorrow on the story. I would put that as the best old fashioned I've had at a restaurant.
Oh,
like it was
cool.
phenomenal. I would almost rank it above the ones I make. Like it was so good.
Oh, really? That's really good then.
Yeah, it was.
What was it? What was it?
I think they used Woodford.
Okay.
But just the way they made it, like I watched them do it, and then the smoking process. So they smoke it there. I was actually curious what wood they use. I'm sure they're using some crazy high end, wood chips. But
they have
whenever
like a plank they burn and then they stick the glass on it.
No, so what they did was it's a flat thing that goes over the glass, and the hose plugs right into the top and pumps the smoke right into it.
Yeah,
and that's what I was telling Michaela. It's very similar to what you have. And he smoked it. Whenever it came back to the table, I let it sit there for maybe a minute and a half, and I pulled it, and we got a cool little smoke deal. It was so good.
Yeah, that's cool. Man, this is I thought it would be a little stronger than it is. Like noticeable.
I did too. I'll be honest with that. But
for like the proof. But it is
it's really changing the flavor. You're not getting any of like that cinnamon. I'm not really getting like that. It's kind of like semi-sweet, but not like chocolatey, marshmallowy anymore. It's the orange is definitely present.
Oh yeah,
orange is present. I think maybe orange. The oak spice comes out slightly more.
Yeah,
just a little bit. It definitely lost the cherry and a lot of that I did enjoy about neat. But this is a good old fashioned. I'm really enjoying it. So
I could definitely get in trouble with these. Just start pounding them down. They're so smooth and easy to drink. You have to remember that this is 115 proof.
Yeah,
because I would just drink this and be like, well, let me give it another and another.
Oh, and then you're
let me fall over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, this takes it from like a sipping to more of a drinking.
Yeah. No, it does. It is very sweet. I'll say that the simple syrup comes out very strong.
Yeah.
This may be one I would want to throw a couple more dashes of bitters in. I'll be honest about that.
Yeah.
So it's not quite that dessert whiskey though. Which one was that? Was that Pikesville actually?
I don't know. Really high scoring.
You talk about Pikesville a lot here now so far.
It was our last review. So.
Oh no, it was Noble Oak.
Oh really? Noble Oak, huh?
Yeah, so Noble Oak was actually our last one. We had Prohibition, Bushmills before that, and then Pikesville. But Noble Oak. I put it dessert. It was a dessert whiskey. As far as the old fashioned went, this one's quite not that sweet. So
I think for the price. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's not super sweet, but.
I would say as an old fashioned, maybe at this price point, might not be the one you want to do for this, but
agreed.
I would agree with that.
Definitely more neat and on the rocks. This is the right whiskey for that environment. But I've had a lot of old fashions that, with different whiskeys that are just as good or, close to this. But if you're talking about price point in terms of flavor for old fashioned, you might be paying a little bit more for this one.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
definitely, yeah, like I was saying, I wouldn't almost waste, but you use this on a regular basis in a cocktail like
Mhm.
this. The old fashioned is great. I mean, it's not, but you can get this and better and cheaper whiskeys.
Mhm.
So kind of,
Oh, I
Yeah.
agree.
for
Yeah,
sure.
there's no particular flavor of this in an old fashioned that is just,
I mean, yeah.
above and beyond anything else that's in a lower price point.
Yeah, it's good, but yeah, I would stick to the neat and on the rocks.
But I mean, that is delicious. I do have to say, let's just not discount that at all. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
would, I would definitely, I'm gonna drink this and go, whew, that's delicious, definitely.
Yeah, yeah, you'll have this, I mean, 2 ounces. There's 2 ounces in here, so it's like,
Oh, it doesn't even taste like it. I mean, it doesn't taste like liquor at all. It literally just tastes like, oh, watered down orange juice, in my
yeah,
opinion,
watered down orange juice, some zest,
Yeah,
some bitters in there, and then
yeah.
you get those sweet simple syrup.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but also the whiskey you do get the whiskey. Like,
Yeah, but it's so smooth.
yeah,
It doesn't even taste like, like we did with the neat or on the rocks. Like the flavor is totally different. Obviously, there's different ingredients in it, but it's just so smooth and easy to drink. What are your thoughts, Robbie?
Well, Cody,
Overall, nothing. Let's say
I'm-
overall, nothing bad about this one.
no,
I'm
it's
like,
very good.
do we want to let the guests give a score first?
Yeah, we will, but I was going to ask you, do you have any more questions for Kyle that you want to ask him?
Um, hmm,
Well, ask away.
uh, we'll go outside the podcast. What's your favorite show currently if you're watching shows right now?
Oh,
Mm.
son of a bitch.
Oh man. Well, I just finished watching The Mandalorian,
Okay.
and oh my god, I like it. I like it. I was
Robbie's a hater.
I was totally against it at the beginning. I hated the first 3 episodes of the first season, and I turned it off, and I was like, I hate this. Last season, dude, it's good. It's good. Yeah, I mean, if you gotta like Star Wars, I mean, really, but
Yeah.
it's not even so much like Star Wars-y. You get cool battles, you
Yep.
get cool
They had
action
a lot of
scenes.
cool action scenes. This
Yeah, it
It's-
could. It
Did
could.
you watch it, Robbie?
I regret
Yeah,
my decisions.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Actually watched the whole thing through and through.
Yes, because I started watching it at the PD and last week, and then finished it just the other day, Friday.
I liked it. It actually was cool at the end. I mean, the last few episodes. Were cool.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the action was fine.
And part
It's
of that
not-
too is I bought the Disney Plus, thing, and I didn't buy actual TV. I bought internet, and I was like, I'll just do internet TV. I was bouncing back and forth between Prime Video, Netflix, and then Disney Plus came on, and I was kind of hooked from the last season of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And I like Star Wars, and not all Star Wars, right? But Mandalorian really, really kind of did it for me, and I'm really excited to see maybe the new. There's got to be another Boba Fett coming out. There's got the newest
Yeah.
Ashoka is coming out. So
Yeah.
I think they're doing. I think they kind of learned their lessons of the sequels. I've really been kind of more into that recently. I have watched other Netflix shows before, but if you want to talk about just recently, that's probably the most
Okay.
recent that I've been into.
You
Any other
get to
questions
the-
then?
Yeah, no, I got one last one, maybe two. So with your brewery and everything, you've been open 11 years, you were saying. What are some of the things that you've learned that you kind of regret that you did maybe early on or even in the middle, whatever, that you would change today?
Some things that I regret that I would change. Honestly, I don't think my head, my attitude were really in it in the beginning. It was kind of something that started, sort of post-recession. So we 2008, 2009, previously being in construction, that all ended. Literally, we kind of like forced our hand. I mean, the stars kind of aligned in that way to where like this is our new avenue, but kind of going into it with a little bit of bitterness. You know, we weren't really wanting to do something like that, but it just kind of came about that way. I think maybe in the beginning, you know, if I had more of an attitude like, yeah, let's go, this is my avenue, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm 110% committed. You know, I was
Okay.
I was really half-assing it, you know, my mind wasn't there, my head wasn't there, I didn't care. You know, now I have kind of a refreshed attitude, and I'm like, you know what, this is because I tried other jobs, I tried other
Yeah.
careers, I tried, and then I realized like the real world, dare I say, is you know, and not, no offense, but like I don't like being there. Like I don't like being told what to do all the time. I don't like
I'm
working
right
for
there with
someone
you.
else. I don't like making someone else's money. You know, I was like, I kind of did some soul searching and I realized like I love independence. I love doing what I want to do. I have no time schedule, right? I show up when I want to show up and I leave when I want to leave. I don't have to justify anything I do to anyone. And to me, that is worth more than money. I made more money in other careers and other jobs, but at the end of the day, I was like, I need to be able to live with myself. I sleep like a baby. Like I can't even imagine just being stressed out all the time, you know, because I did finance before and there was just constantly like you're getting phone calls on your days off, you're fielding, you know, information on you have no personal time anymore. And
Yeah.
to me, that was one person said it perfectly. He's like, this is soul sucking work, meaning that you no longer have that sense of humanity anymore.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, I was kind of, you know, hemming and hawing, but now I've kind of got my mind right and got my head right. And I was like, you know, this is what I want to do and this is where I want to be. And, you know, I made a commitment. I'm going to be in this company. I'm going to be doing it. I own it. So there's, I mean, yeah, you can get out, but like there's kind of like no getting out.
No, that's
But
actually really good to hear. That's
yeah,
everybody listening, that's fuck.
it's like having a
You know.
kid, you know, yes, there is a way out, but you're like, there is no way out, right?
No,
There's
there's no way.
no,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you want to be a piece of shit. So kind of thing.
yeah, yeah. So yeah,
So
there is, but you're also like, all right, this is it, you know, and you're like, I'm in it to win it now. So I'm 100%
exactly.
dedicated, and I love what I do now. And like I said earlier, sometimes work is work, sometimes it's a pain in the ass, sometimes you got to deal with a bunch of BS that I wasn't planning on, but at the end of the day, I would rather do this than, like I said, sit in an office, sit in a chair, crunch numbers, do phone calls. You know, no offense to anyone who does that. Those are
Yeah, no.
fantastic careers. You make very
I
good
agree
money.
with
You have
you.
a very good lifestyle.
Yeah.
But me personally, talking about this, yeah,
All right.
I probably wish I would have been a little bit more into it in the beginning because there are other companies that have started after us and are now ahead of us. Um, but that's just the nature of the
You live
game.
and learn, dude.
You take it, or we're taking it at our own speed.
Yeah. All right. So that leads us to, what do you rate this whiskey old fashioned?
Mm. Um, I would rank this old fashioned. You know, I would say it's good, but it's not super on the high end. I would say 4.0.
Okay.
Dead even four. It's
Yeah.
good. It's really smooth, you know. But kind of going back to that price point, if I bought this at a bar and it was, like I said, a $30 drink, I might not be so impressed. Versus if it were, like I said, using a cheaper whiskey or something like that, it's still really phenomenal, really good, really smooth. But just that price point of the whiskey itself is the only drawback to why I would not rate this even higher. Um,
Yes.
but I would drink this all day,
Okay.
you know.
Cody?
But
Yeah. I'm in the same kind of boat there. I think it's 4.0 status, nothing higher because
Yeah.
of the price and everything. But it's really, really good. And I would keep it for meat and on the rocks most likely. You know, that's just my
Yeah.
opinion on it.
No.
Action's great, but it's not better than some of the cheaper whiskeys that we've had. So that's where it is.
I'm right there in that same boat. I wrote that down a while ago, 4.0. It's a good old fashioned. But comparing it to neat on the rocks, I would drink this whiskey that way 100% of the time over old fashioned. And it's not a bad old fashioned, but you know, like you said, thinking about the price, everything else. So, with that being said, with the 3 ways we reviewed it tonight, this whiskey is a 4.33333 all the way through. So 4.3 whiskey overall. Cody and I will be doing like probably another cocktail for our story coming up. So check that out. Probably once this episode drops, that week we'll do a quick little review of another cocktail, probably something from their website. So yeah, great old fashioned, great, but way better neat and on the rocks, I would say. All right, Cody and Kyle, any final thoughts? Anything you want to get off your chest before we get off here?
Well, I would say, this is my first time on your guys' podcast. This has been really cool, really fun adventure. I know you guys have done it multiple times, and this is really cool to just kind of sit back, hang out, catch up, walk down memory lane with my old Camaro, and kind of get to talk about stuff. And this is definitely a really, really, really good whiskey. I wasn't even searching so much; it just kind of was like meeting me. How about this one, right? And it worked out perfectly.
Awesome.
Only with my company and the name of the company, the name of the whiskey. I think this came together really well. And I'm really, really, really impressed with how everything came together.
I'm right there with you. With that being said, guys, thank you for listening. Blue Collar Whiskey drinkers, go grab yourself a bottle of Old Forester Prohibition. This is a great bottle. And thank you to Kyle to coming on. This is, thank you for picking this whiskey. Thank you for sharing some stuff with us. And everybody, go find Kyle, Vista, California, Prohibition Brewery.
Prohibition Brewing Company.
Yeah, whenever you're in San Diego, California, go check it out. All right. That being said, cheers, guys. You have a great night.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Good vibes and
good times.